Hey everyone, welcome to HQ Outdoors. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Steve, and in today's video we are going to be frost seeding my fall food plot here. Now it's March 23rd. We finally had all the snow melt here, and our daytime temperatures are getting above freezing during the day, and then at night we're going to dip down in the 20s. So we got a perfect scenario to spread some clover seed. Now this plot last year in late summer was planted in a mix of different brassicas, mainly turnips, rye, and oats. And there's a little bit of clover in there as well. And as you can see, it looks a little bit green, but there's a lot of bare dirt here. The deer really hammered this in early bow season. So I want to ensure that I have a nice crop of clover that's going to come in and is going to be very minimal effort on me going forward, other than maybe having to spray for grasses and weeds and mowing. So I got a little bit of work to do. I got a small tree over here that fell down over the winter, so I don't have a saw with me, but I think I can just hand bomb it off to the side. Then I'm just going to run through the plot real quick and just pick up some of the bigger rocks that kind of pushed up after tilling last year. So I want as clean as a slate as I can get to put this seed down. So we're going to get this cleaned up, then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the seed that I'm using and at what rate I'm spreading it at. So let's get to work. Alright, so for our clover seed today, we're running good old Whitetail Institute Imperial Whitetail Clover. So this is a perennial blend that will reseed itself and grow for 5 to 7 years. I've had in the past with this specific blend. This has, let's see, Berseem clover, white ladino clover, just different varieties of white clover. That is a perennial blend that will seed itself in the years to come. Now, over here, we're trying some clutch clover from Domain. This is more of an annual blend. This has stuff that's gonna pretty much just grow this season. It should be fast to establish. So between the two seeds, I think we should have a really nice green food plot. Now, this plot is a 1/4 acre in size, just about right on the money, 1,100 square feet, or excuse me, 11,000. Now, I got a 1/4 acre bag and a 1/4 acre bag. So you're saying I got too much seed. Well, when it comes to frost seeding, you don't get the same catch you do when you are, or the same germination that you will get when you're planting regularly. And a lot of people say you want to bump up your seed rate 20 to 40%. In my experience, I double it. This ground here is not the best soil that I'm working with. I have the pH corrected, but the organic matter is very low. It's clay, rocky soil. So my germination levels are going to be quite a bit lower than what you would get on good ground. So that's the reason for doubling up on the seed. If some of it gets wasted, is what it is. Now, for our spreader, there's an Earthway 2750. I'm sure you guys have seen the red bag. Pretty much can't go wrong with this guy here. I'm going to show you how I adjust the gate on the inside when I go to fill up with seed. This clover seed is very tiny, so you have to have that gate just barely cracked. And if you don't, you'll run out of seed halfway through because it'll just fly out of there. So, alright, so this is how I have the gate set on this. Like I said, that clover seed is super small, so you have to have it pinched right down. Some leftover seed from last year. It's a little dirty, but that's on the second hash mark on the adjustment down here. Can't tell because the little thing's in the way of the lever, but It's on the second hash mark. I might have to make a minor adjustment as I'm spreading if it's going too little or too much, but I'm going to start there. So, all right, let's get our seed going here, starting with the domain. Pro tip, don't forget to close your gate. Ask me how I know. Dusty. I'm gonna kind of just mix these two blends around by hand. All right, we're off to the races. All right, so one thing I like to do, I like to keep the zipper open on the bag, then I can see how much seed I got and how fastly it's going. And then secondly, I'm going to walk kind of the outside perimeter of the plot and make sure I hit my edges, and then I'm going to do this. Zigzag back and forth like this, and hopefully the goal is to get a nice even coverage of seeds. So I hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and you'll probably watch me slip in this muddy food plot, so let's go. Okay, right off the bat, that's a prime example. Way too much seed. I gotta close that down. All right, take two. Close the gate down. I could see within the first few steps there I was throwing way too much seed. You guys couldn't see it, but walk fast, crank slow. just like that, we're all seated up. Something, and it hit me as soon as I started walking there, you really can't get this gate adjusted down tight enough for what you need. So you got to kind of just manipulate the open or the lever kind of by hand. And so I just ditched the little adjustment knob there, and I was just holding back the slightest bit of pressure. Dealing with those small seeds in the spreader is a pain in the butt. So hopefully everything got seeded pretty good, so we'll see. Alright folks, that's going to wrap up today's video here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. There's going to be a lot more of this whitetail outdoor stuff, property management, land management more so. So I'll probably post an update to this video, I don't know, middle of June, end of June. That's by the time we're going to really have our full green up going, and I think you guys will be surprised at the results of this frost seeding. It's a really great method to easily establish a food plot. There's some more prep involved if it's a new plot or existing, but great way to get clover grown. So I'll spin you guys around here. We'll take a look. You'll see the seeds here. All the little white and blue seeds. That stuff is going to all get sucked up into the soil with the frost or the freezing and thawing we're going to have this week. I'll put a little clip of that in, of what my weather forecast looks like, and you can see some of that clover that was established last fall. So alright folks, that is it for today. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.